Hey everyone, it's John Gonzalez and Amy Sherman from MLive.com and Michigan's Best. And Amy, we have a very big reveal.
We do. We're about to tell you our pick for beer of the year.
We rehearsed it.
Yeah, we've been working on our list. We each came up with a top 10 list this year of our favorite beers from what a crazy year, 2020. And it was a year like no other. Typically, we have, hundreds of beers that we try as we travel around the state for Michigan's Best. We visit dozens and dozens of breweries, everything from new places that have just opened to old favorites. And we didn't get to do that this year, Gonzo, right?
We didn't. It was a challenging year for us in that regard. It was a challenging year for everyone on a international level. But I'll tell you what, though, Michigan breweries, they're dealing with it, and they're making some great beer.
Absolutely, and we have been amazed, I guess not surprised because we know how innovative they are, but they've been pivoting and changing and doing all sorts of different things, which has been awesome to watch. And we've shared back and forth a lot of different beers between each other to get to our top 10 list, which you can find at MLive.com. But our top pick, beer of the year, is a pretty special one, right, Gonzo?
It really is. I can't wait to share their story, but I'll tell you what, they don't know that we're calling them.
They don't. We did a surprise call to our pick for beer of the year, and you can watch it right now.
So, Amy, who do we have joining us today?
We've got our good friends, Dominic Miller from the Mackinac State Historic Parks, and then we have Danny Randville with us from Beer to Mac Brewery, which is located in Mackinac City. And Mackinac State Historic Parks celebrated a special birthday this year, 125 years. But we talked about that with you guys when we did Beer of the Week this summer, so you're probably wondering why we have you here again.
Yeah, sure. It's never a bad thing to talk about it again, but yeah.
Very special announcement, and Gonzo and I are pleased and thrilled to let you know that Beer to Mac's Fleur de Mac is our pick for Beer of the Year.
Oh my God.
Congratulations, Beer to Mac. We picked you as our favorite beer of the year that we tried. And not only is it delicious, but it has a wonderful story behind it. So congratulations to you both.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, that is awesome. Thank you so much. This is great.
Thank you, Tom, for having your reaction. Danny, come on, get it together.
It's a real honor. I'm shocked. There's a lot of really good beer out there. And, we're really honored. That's really awesome. Thank you, guys.
Well, we thought the story was, like Amy said, is a great collaboration, and we'll talk about that in a second. But I think, like, when Amy and I, like everyone has been, this year, 2020 was so odd, strange, it's just so apart in different ways, right? So we had to kind of like get together and come up with this list. And like we typically do, since we had different beers at different times of the year because we were spending a lot of time together, we did have your beer together. And when we said, well, we need to pick one, which one will we pick? And we both said at the same time, Beer to Mac, Brewworks, Fleur de Mac, Beer of the Year. Okay, done deal.
That's really exciting.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's we're not in the beer making business here at MSHP, so it's just to be even a little part of that, and you guys know that I enjoy a beer here and there, and so this is really exciting that we were part of this, and we're so lucky here in Mackinac City to have a place as awesome as Beer to Mac here.
You are very lucky. In fact, I wish that they were closer to me. But Danny, let's talk a little bit about how this beer came to be, Fleur de Mac from Beer to Mac. It's definitely a collaboration between two entities to celebrate a special birthday. So how did this come about? And then Dom, you can add in your 2 cents too.
Oh, sure. Yeah, we got together with Dominic and the guys at the state park, and we had been talking about, how we could work well together, what we can kind of do to coincide, help each other. And they came to us in the planning stages of their anniversary, the 125th anniversary, and said, hey, we'd really like you guys to do an anniversary beer for us. And we thought that would be a real fun thing to do. And it was a pretty well thought out beer. We knew that we wanted it to be complex and interesting and kind of hold the stamp of, our French-Belgian roots, which the history coincides very well with the fort. And so we ended up coming up with a blonde bière de garde and we got together, and the gentleman at the fort kind of helped us name it. And overall, it was just a really, really fun experience. We got to make this beer and then do a photo shoot down at the fort. And I think I speak for everybody that it was just a really fun project to do. We really enjoyed it. We're over the moon with how the beer came out with that Bastogne yeast. It's dry, it's drinkable, a little higher ABV. It's just a really, really nice beer. We so much so that we think we're going to keep that one around. It's just really delicious, as you guys all know. We're really pleased with how it turned out.
Well, that was one of our questions. We were going to ask you, can you please brew this beer again so everyone can go and try it this year if they missed it for the 125th or birthday? Maybe you can do it for the 126th. So that is really good news to hear. Now, Dom, coming from the Mackinac State Historic Parks, why was this something that you were kind of interested in partnering with Beer to Mac for?
Yeah, we were 125 years is a pretty amazing milestone that our organization had made it to this point and was still going strong. So as we were kicking around different things that we could do to help celebrate this milestone, it was just like, we have a really good brewery in town. It'd be really cool to have an official beer of the celebration. And then when we approached Danny and George and kind of got talking about it, they were so receptive, and it was just it kind of took off from there. And and beer and alcohol have roots historically in the fort. It's something that has always been here, especially in Mackinac City. It's always been here, always been kind of a part of the daily life, and especially as they're moving into like a French themed French style beer, and this was built as a French fort. It just came together so well. And then when we went out and tried it, it was just like, holy smokes! Not only is it just a cool thing, this is a really good beer. It was such a perfect fit, and I'm thrilled to hear it too, because I was like, Danny, you were on my list to chat with about, are we going to be able to do something next year as well? So I think
well, we should let people know, Dom, that it is Fort Michilimackinac that we're talking about, because I think people might be confused if they don't know the difference between Fort Mackinac and Fort Michilimackinac.
Absolutely. So it was Fort Mackinac. Mackinac Island State Park was celebrating the anniversary, but without the creation of Mackinac Island State Park in 1895, there's no Michilimackinac State Park, no recreation of that fort. So it all just ties together really, really well.
I also wanted to ask you too, Dom, and Danny, we're going to talk about your challenges as a brewer and keeping up with the beer and how 2020, impacted your business. But from a marketing standpoint, just real quick, you guys had a plan laid out of releasing this beer and parties, and it was going to be a big year, because when did the beer come out and what did you have planned for them?
We wanted to make sure we had something available for the guys to taste. So we did brew it early, so we could all sit down. I mean, who doesn't need an excuse to sit down and try beer? But it turned out really well. I think that helped me, if I'm not mistaken, it was like May or early May when we got together. I can't.
That sounds right. I think it was released in June or July. It feels like the summer was 6 months ago, but also like 20 years ago somehow.
I know. It's a true story.
Getting the word out was interesting. I mean, because we did have, we were going to have a party at the brewery, and we were going to do things down at the fort, and we had all these kind of cool things planned. So we had to really, and like, it's not unique to us. Everybody had to do this, but we had to really kind of get creative, get the word out. And get people into the brewery to try it, and they did. And from what I've heard, and it was received well, which is awesome.
Yeah, super well received. A lot of people wanted to take some home. We had stickers made. It was just an overall, like I said, a really, really fun experience.
Yeah, and Dan, I don't know, everybody in my family got a Florida Mac sticker in their stocking this year. So.
Nice.
How much did you brew, Danny?
We brewed the first go around. We did just one of our small 100-gallon fermenter, 2.5 barrel. And I remember when we tried it, we sat down with the gentleman at the fort, my father, and our assistant brewer Matt, and they're like, "Well, can you make more? This is great." And my dad's like, "Yeah, we'll just whip out another batch." And Matt and I are looking at each other like, "Yeah, just whip out another batch." But we ended up, we're double batching it now. We put some bigger fermentation tanks in our brewery to kind of up capacity. That was really huge for us in 2020. That was a big thing. We decided that we needed to up capacity, and so we put we pretty much over doubled our capacity, and that was big. With all the uncertainties of 2020, we found some tanks from Charlevoix Brewing Company that closed, and we purchased all 3 of their 5-barrel fermentation, which is huge for us. We'll be able to actually start really looking into distributing to the island, and the Fleur de Mac and the Blueberry Wheat are the ones we're looking at for offering to bars and restaurants on the island when I should say we get to that again. So we're really excited.
Well, as somebody who lives on the island, Danny, I'm real excited about that.
Yeah, I bet you are.
You're personally invested in this stuff.
Absolutely. I will do my best to keep that beer moving on that island.
Well, Danny, as you're talking about expanding your fermentation tanks and things like that, as John said, this has been a year like no other. And I know that you just recently opened up your patio. You winterized it kind of so people can enjoy it again. What has this been like for you as a small Michigan brewery 2020?
I think as a small business in Michigan and all over, you're kind of accustomed to running around and putting out fires and thinking on the fly and problem solving day to day. And this has been all of that and more. Moving down to 50% capacity and making sure everybody's feel comfortable in the hospitality industry, obviously. Is our number one priority. And so we had to make some changes, just the layout. Obviously, we took out tables just like everybody else. And really on the fly had to think about our outdoor space. And with such a small kitchen, it's really hard to execute both indoor and outdoor. So that took a lot of experimentation to figure out, what worked best in our facility. Moving into the winter time, we're like, hey, you see a lot of people doing igloos and shanties, and we're like, well, we're going to do it the old-fashioned Northern Michigan way. And we encourage people to bring out their snow pants. We've got a couple burn barrels out there. We put some lighting out there, some picnic tables, and we've been doing some grill features on the weekends, and just trying to encourage people to take in the outdoors. It's Northern Michigan. Everybody's kind of used to ice fishing and hunting and trapping and being outside, snowshoeing, skiing. And so we're just kind of taking advantage of that, giving people a place to hang out in the wintertime.
Okay, well, I'm going to say that you better go tell George to whip up another batch of Fleur de Mac. People are going to be asking.
We've already got one in the fermentation tanks. We're ready. We've got some.
Good. When do you think that'll be out?
We have it available on our tap right now. We've got another batch behind it, so we are able to cater to the masses.
Well, we are so happy for you that you are Beer of the Year.
Oh, so exciting.
From Beer to Mac. Hey, Danny, if people want to get more information or follow what is available on tap or get your hours of operation, where should they go?
Well, obviously, the website, Facebook, all the normal avenues. A lot of people don't know we use on our beer menu, we use Untapped. So if you are on Untapped and you follow Beer to Mac, anytime we put a new beer on our menu, if you would like, you can select to have a notification. That's the best way to know exactly what's on tap at all times. But www.beertomac.com, our Facebook page, that's the best way.
I had to go off Untapped because I got too many early riser badges.
You're not supposed to say that publicly.
If people want to learn what's happening at Mackinac State Historic Parks this year and maybe new collaborations you're coming up with, where should they go for that information?
Absolutely. Head to our website, MackinacParks.com, or Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, all the fun stuff. We've got new things just about every single day out there. Awesome.
Well, congratulations again, Beer to Mac, for being Beer of the Year.
Yay. That's great.
Wow, that was pretty cool. I think Danny was just Beer of the Year. I think Danny was just stunned.
I think he was too. He was definitely surprised. I know we were ribbing him there for a minute, but So happy for him and his crew at Beer de Mac and our pick for Beer of the Year, Fleur de Mac, that they did in partnership with the Mackinac State Historic Parks. It is a great beer, and he assures us that it's going to be available on tap right now and hopefully throughout the rest of the year. I know he said that he's going to do his very best to make sure that they always have it. If you want to get more information about our top 10 picks and Beer of the Year, you want to head to MLive.com.